So that's pretty cool. Not that we're against blood draws or anything like that. I just want you to know we follow the research. You know, they now have the monitors for your blood sugars and all the rest. And they say, wow, we could do this all over the body. So cool stuff. And we are talking to our team from Hoxworth Blood Centers today because we do what we call a Donor of the Week. And every now and then we love to have our Donor of the Week in person. So not to ignore Dr. David O, but you are the star of the show here. Yes. Hi, David.
Hi. It's very good to be here.
Tell
Thank you
us
for
why
having
you
us.
donate.
Well, I donate for a number of reasons. One, I did have a father-in-law who had cancer, and that got me a little bit started, but I had also been involved with mobile units, and I'd been giving whole blood, and when they found out I had AB positive blood, they said, we really want your platelets because it's a universal donor on platelets. So that's when I really stepped it up a number of years ago and started giving much more regularly because the hold time for platelet donations is 2 weeks and much shorter than it is for whole blood.
So my understanding is that you have maxed out, or whatever we call it. So why is he maxed? How many times can you donate platelets or that kind of thing? That's awesome, by the way. To max out is like the ultimate.
So we allow platelet donors to come up to 24 times in a rolling year. So we kind of look at all the donations, and so that equals about once every 2 weeks, and then we ask you to take a little siesta at some point during the year as well.
All right, so we have just a little video, but can you explain what a platelet is, why it's used, why it's as important as blood, kind of on steroids or whatever you want to call it?
Yeah, so Dave is an AB donor, I think I can share that, and so he's perfect candidate for platelets. And so with his red cells, you can use the plasma component, but you usually don't use the red cell component because there aren't as many people who are compatible with that. For platelets, everybody can get the AB platelet, and so we love to have donors like Dave who can come in and do that. Platelets are used for people who have clotting issues. A lot of times, I think most of our platelets actually go to Children's Hospital for patients who are receiving cancer therapies, as their bone marrow is not able to create platelets for themselves. They need donors to donate that so that they can get through their treatments.
Yeah. So one of the reasons I think your donation is really significant is it takes a little longer to give platelets, does it not? How long are you there when you donate?
Well, until recently, it could be up to about 3 hours, but from front to end, going in the door to going out. But a couple of system improvements that Hoxworth has put in place has cut that time down to around 2 hours. So they have new blood draw machines, which are faster, but also they allow you to answer all the questions, the 40 or 50 questions, the morning that you go in, so you can get that knocked out before you go into the donation center.
You know, and that's an important point. You're streamlining things, but I think people always ask about the safety of our blood supply. So each time a person donates, you do find out, current information, do you not?
Yeah, so we do screening every single time somebody donates, and we look for the transfusion-transmitted infections that are concerning for us. Make sure that all of those are negative before they come through. So yeah, we are doing lots of testing. We've tested you hundreds of times now, and so every time it comes through, we make sure it's safe for people to receive.
Yeah. So what sort of got you started? You've been doing this how many years now?
Well, over 30 years, actually. Wow. I started when my company, Cincinnati Millicron, now Millicron, had mobile units coming out. And it made it very easy just to step away to give a whole blood and take a half hour or so to get that done. And that's what got started. I also had a coworker at my more recent employer that had a son with leukemia, and it made it important for me to support his child, and my donor buttons that show how many gallons I was sending to him because he lived in Memphis, and he's in much better health now. So that's a good one. But really, I'm paying it forward. I know that at some point I'm going to need help in the future, and I don't know when that'll happen, but I wanted to be that person that led by example.
Wow, that's a powerful statement. Thank you.
Sure.
That says a lot. All right, so it's winter, you know, that keeps people inside. We've had colds and flus. So even though I know January was donor month, you need them to keep going. Who do you need? What do you need? Why do you need it? How often?
Yeah, so what I always say is go to hoxworth.org. You can go ahead and plan your donation there. If you know that you're blood type AB, then really platelets and plasma is the best donation. If you know you're type O, red cell or a whole blood donation is just fantastic. We've been very fortunate. The donors here in the Cincinnati area are just fantastic, and our supply has been good through this period. Many other parts of the country have been in urgent need. If you monitor social media, it's really alarming in some parts of the country, but we've been very fortunate.
We can't do anything without our blood supply. Yeah. We just don't realize that. All right, we have a quick phone number for you if you'd like to, you know, be a David. 513-451-0910. You can make an appointment through that, and I know it's save you a little time if you have an appointment. You said your next appointment's when?
Next week.
All right.
Next week. You can do it online too.
You didn't just like do this so you're going to come here. You're keeping it up. We appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thank you for what you do.
Sure.
In so many ways, you just silently have done this, and we'll never know all the lives you saved.
It's a very easy process to do, and the Hoxworth employees make it very, very comfortable for you to do it, and you get to know them as friends.